And I look forward to your questions.
And we thank all of you for your comments and your observations. We appreciate that very much. This committee has a tradition of asking all nominees questions about their availability. Some of you have already answered this in your presentations. You must have anticipated these questions were going to be asked. That's good staff work. But I'm going to ask each of you to answer yes or no individually on the 4 questions that are asked about responsiveness to our committee. Do you agree to appear before this committee and make officials from your office available to the committee and designated staff when invited?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you commit to keep this committee fully and currently informed about the activities under your purview?
Yes.
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 I do.
Do you commit to engaging in meaningful consultation with policies are being developed, not just providing notification after the fact?
Yes.
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 Do you commit to promptly responding to requests for briefings and information requested by the committee and its designated staff?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
You all passed. Congratulations. As I think has been observed, the 5 countries that you have been nominated to be our representatives are all democratic states. So we are dealing with countries that are natural allies of the United States, but they have certain challenges. There's a couple common concerns that we have. One is the dependency on Russian oil, which is today a very important consideration. As we know, Russia has weaponized the use of energy. And these countries remain very dependent upon Russian energy sources. It makes it more challenging for us to have the type of leverage to keep unity in our support for Ukraine. In the Slovak Republic, I understand 100% of their oil is imported and 85% of their natural gas. We know in North Macedonia it's a large percentage, in the Netherlands. So let me start first with Mr. Moreno. How would you go about urging the importance of removing that dependency from the point of view of the national security, not only of the Slovak Republic, but also of our allies in Europe?
Thank you very much for that question, Senator Cardin. You are absolutely right. 100% of Slovakia's oil and nuclear energy, or the fuel, is derived from Russia, and 85% of its natural gas. The most important thing that I would do if confirmed as ambassador would be to encourage Slovakia to integrate within the European Union's own internal energy market and diversify fuel types, supply source countries, and delivery routes. What do we mean by that? One, with the nuclear fuel, try to find new suppliers. Right now, they're completely dependent on the Russians. With natural gas, Slovakia has already built interconnectors with all of its neighbors. They've contracted with the Norwegians to supply natural gas. They've also brought in LNG, including from U.S. suppliers. So these are the types of activities that we would continue to encourage Slovakia and, frankly, all the European allies to continue doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Ackler, there's a similar problem in North Macedonia, not quite as great. And as you point out, North Macedonia is taking on a leadership within the OSCE, which we're very pleased to see. But it also gives us a chance for whoever assumes leadership in that organization to demonstrate by action their commitment to the Helsinki principles. In North Macedonia, the energy issue was one, but also they've had some challenges in the rule of law and building that capacity. Tell me how you could utilize our position in that country through our mission, particularly as North Macedonia ascends in the OSCE.
Thank you so much for the question, Chairman Cardin. And they're both critically important right now, particularly as we look at the fact that just 12 days ago, the Parliament of North Macedonia passed the required motions to begin its EU accession, to accept the French proposals for that accession. And as we look to this country and to Albania moving forward in the EU, First of all, you're absolutely right about the energy crisis. North Macedonia is on the verge of declaring an energy crisis as of August because of their dependence largely on Russian gas. We have already seen efforts through our mission in Greece, for example, on a Greece-North Macedonia interconnector, LNG, that would not only benefit North Macedonia, but also many of its neighbors. And there are a number of initiatives on clean energy that would assist them to move away from the dependency on Russia. But your point also about not only OSCE leadership, but also their EU accession aspirations are critically important and I believe offer us an opportunity. And if confirmed, I will do everything in my power, Senator, to help them make so many of the reforms in rule of law, for example, that will assist that country in overall governance, which they so desperately need. I was very pleased to read today that the embassy in Skopje announced $4.3 million in additional funding for rule of law programs across North Macedonia that were a direct result of the strategic dialogue that we had in June. So those reforms, those necessary reforms, I would do everything I could to support them. Thank you.
Ms. Dugal, let me complete the issue in regards to Russian dependency. There is a similar problem in regards to the Netherlands. Tell us how you would address that as our ambassador.
Thank you for the question, Chairman Cardin. That's absolutely such a critical thought. And Russia does use energy as a weapon to attempt to weaken Europe. The Netherlands is, in fact, less dependent on Russian energy than other European countries, and the Netherlands does hope to cut Russian oil and fossil fuels by the end of the year and aims to halt coal imports by August 11th and expand wind and solar. The steps they have already taken in the Netherlands, if I could list a few, the EU has reached a plan, actually just very recently, to cut natural gas by 15% between now and spring of 2023. They're also using coal-fired stations to operate at 35% maximum capacity. And there is an emergency option that in the Netherlands to tap into the Groningen gas field, which is the largest in Europe, and reopen if needed. And if confirmed, I would be helpful in that conversation.
And we're going to follow up on all these issues. One of the areas, and particularly as a senator from Maryland, we have an LNG export facility located in our state. We know that American LNG is part of the solution of Europe to remove their dependency on Russian energy sources, particularly natural gas. So these are all areas that are going to have to be put into fast gear because some of these issues take a while to implement. And it could be a very cold winter in Europe this year. Senator Hagerty?